Lorde post an unedited photo of herself. So Lorde recently took to Twitter and she posted 2 photos, okay, of her recently performing in concert. One was a photo of her completely retouched, her skin, her face, and the other one was untouched. So she tweeted to her fans, quote, "I find this curious. 2 photos from today, one edited so my skin is perfect and one real." And you see some of her blemishes, which we all have. She reminds her fans, remember, flaws are okay. Smiley face. Thoughts, 5 words or less?
Women can make up own minds.
Lord of the flaws.
Ooh.
So good.
Thanks for unclearing that up.
Acting like a pure heroine.
Nice.
That's her album name. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Thanks, Brett. You're
Good
kissing
job.
up from earlier, being mean to me, saying I never read a book.
Well, I've never seen you read a book, so who's to know?
What did you guys think about Lorde doing this? Did you think that this was really cool and responsible for her to get that message out to her fans, or did you think that she was just trying to do her own little PR stunt because she knew that people would talk about it because it's her putting out a picture of herself unedited?
This is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's weird because when you see that photo, you don't really think that someone touched up the original one. You wouldn't assume because of the location, like where it is.
Right,
Like,
that's what's crazy. It's at a live concert.
Yeah. I think it's really responsible because nowadays there is this this unrealistic ideal that I feel like that we all feel like that we have to attain. You look at any magazine, but even somebody at a concert, you would never even think that she would be photoshopped when she's outdoors at a concert. So we all look at them and go, wow, they're always so perfect. And even if it's not their hair and their makeup, they're photoshopped. So it was cool of her to show all of her fans, young fans, I'm sure, that they're not all perfect. They're just like everybody else.
And I think it's also like, again, we were talking about consent, like a question of consent. Like, people just retouch stuff and like the celebrities don't even know.
Yeah.
Or they do a photo shoot and then it comes out on the cover of Vogue or whatever and they're like, who is that person?
wow, I look great.
Yeah, they're like, I look amazing. But I think that, you know, there's 2 ends of the spectrum, right? Where like people who really, they do want to be retouched, and that's okay. The idea being like beauty standards are for you to decide, which is, of course, what Brie, what you had said, like in your 5 words, like it's about what you're comfortable with. And if you want to be retouched from like head to toe, do you? That's fine. But if you don't, like you shouldn't be without, you know, your knowledge.
Yeah.
I only think it should be way over the top touched up. Like when you see
where it's
people,
artistic,
well,
where
you
you
see
know
those
it's-
Photoshop fails on like you know
the thigh
top.
gap that was like ridiculous.
Yeah,
that was
or
a
like
Target
there's
ad.
one recently, some guy pulls his shirt up to show off his 6-pack, which is clearly like taken from the Hulk, and it just like only uses abs. It's abs from here to here, and there's no like lat muscles.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, and I want to see that on the cover of Mary Claire.
Marie Claire.
Sorry. Oh God, how
Read a
embarrassing.
book.
Sorry.
Let's talk about the fact that there's another campaign that's gaining a lot of publicity. This was from Dermablend, and I'm sure you may not be familiar with Dermablend, but Dermablend is a skin makeup that covers more serious skin conditions, imperfections, flaws, like birthmarks, and I've used it for my tattoos. It completely can cover a tattoo, burn marks, scars, and what they wanted to show was that these people are debilitated with their skin condition. So for them to cover up is actually allowing them to reveal who they truly are, because then people that meet them aren't stuck by just looking at their skin condition.
Yes.
So what did you guys think about that other side of the spectrum and their perspective of actually using makeup to let the inner person come out?
Yeah, I think it's just like what you said. I think it really depends on the person. I know me personally, I can't speak for all women, but me personally, I think a little bit of makeup gives me a lot more confidence. And when I was younger, I had like really, really bad like cold sores from like the weather. And like I've had them since I was like a little kid. And I look back at pictures and like, I just remember how miserable it made me feel. And like people would make fun of me and it just sucks.
People are looking right at your imperfections. So I think a little bit of makeup, and God forbid, I mean, us saying this compared to somebody that has birthmarks and scars, you can't even compare. I think that campaign is so beautiful in the sense that, yeah, they go outside and they feel like all people see is their birthmark. And to be able to cover that up just so the inner self can come out, I think that's beautiful. And if it works for them, more power to them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if you look at other people, like if I were to look at Lorde's picture, or whatever, I wouldn't have even noticed like the untouched one. I wouldn't have even noticed the blemishes. I would have just been like, oh, it's Lorde at a concert. You know what I mean? So it's like
Someone would have, though.
Someone would have.
Our magazine would have circled that shit and pointed it out. It sucks.
And that does suck, and that's why I have massive respect to Lorde for tweeting about that. I think that's awesome. But I think women should not be told what to do, how to look. they can decide that for themselves, especially if a guy is like, I don't like it when you wear a lot of makeup or something like that. It's like, no, whatever
don't.
I have to do to make myself feel better, that's what I'm gonna do.
And
But
actually
someone should be
started-
looking out for when your girlfriend's wearing too much makeup or
No.
your sister's wearing too much makeup.
That's just not
come-
really for y'all to comment on.
No,
Mm-mm,
you
no.
can't, I'm sorry, you can't do that,
I
Brad.
don't agree. I think it's very well. There's a certain friend. No, I'm going to fight for this one.
Okay,
There's a
fight
certain
for it.
friendship level or level of esteem, no bullshit zone, where if you're someone, your friend who's a girl, your girlfriend, your sister, your mom is going overboard with the makeup, I think you have to tell them.
If
I
they
agree with
ask,
you, Brett.
no,
Okay.
if they ask.
All right.
I kind of agree with you, Brett.
I'm
I
just
think
saying.
there's a varying degree. There's a difference between the boyfriend being like, you can't wear that, you can't wear those leggings, or you can't wear your makeup like that. And there's a difference between your boyfriend being like, oh, honey, I think you have a little bit too much eyeshadow with red lipstick.
Right, but what I'm doing,
And then
what
you
I'm
look in
putting-
the mirror and you're like, oh, you're right. I
But
think it
I
depends
am-
on the guy.
I am
It
putting
depends on
myself
the
in that
person.
real-time situation, and you're right. I need to wait till I'm asked.
Well, I do
That's why I ask, because listen, I've been in relationships where a guy has told me, I don't like it when you wear baggy sweaters or shirts, you know, my typical uniform. And basically, it's like, I would prefer if you would wear tight stuff. And I did, and I felt like
Yeah.
No, no, no,
So
That's too different
That's too far.
to
The
do.
thing about
No,
like beauty standards in general, like all this stuff about like dermablend and like letting yourself, you know, because some people like their own skin isn't actually what feels like their true self. Like it made me think about transgender people who are born in this body that they're like, this body is not like reflecting who I really am. And they probably maybe, you know, they put on a makeup or they put on a wig or they dress the way that makes them feel their true selves. And that's beautiful. And like maybe, you know, to me that's like where you understand kind of like why sometimes like the artifice of how you put yourself together is actually revealing like really who you are.
I just so fell in love with
Yeah,
you just
me
now.
too. I
Thank
agree.
you so much. I totally
Yeah.
agree with that.
I
That's
agree
amazing.
100%. I agree with what you're saying, and I agree with where you're coming from.
If you're the kind
Final
of
thoughts. We
I
have
will
to
add
go.
that if you're the kind of if you're going to offer advice as to how the makeup should be and how the shirt should be, you should know someone well enough to know how to say that to them. Because if you're like, oh my God, she's gonna hate me for saying this, you probably aren't gonna be saying it right.
And if it's always coming from a place of love,
Right.
You know when
Sometimes
someone's
it's coming
like,
from a place of control, and that's not okay. Okay, so what did you guys think about Lorde tweeting out this unedited photo? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Sugar.